Welcome everyone, my name is Han. I'm going to do a presentation on cooperative accounting. I'll be discussing some of the terms in cooperative accounting as well as taxable accounting. For this, I have also chosen a company which is listed in ASX called Amcor Corporation. Let's begin. I'm going to describe some of the details of the company chosen, that is Amcor Corporation. It is a global and widely owned company which is widely spread around 40 countries among 200 places. It employs more than 50,000 employees. It is a packing manufacturing corporation which produces home care products, telecommunication application, medical supplies, food, pet care, etc. It is registered under New York Stock Exchange, which estimates a revenue of 13 billion US dollars. It is located in UK. The concept that I'm going to describe. Now I'm going to discuss starting with accounting profit. Accounting profit can be utilized to determine a company's taxable income for tax purposes of loan consideration, interest calculation, growth estimates, and internal budget consideration. Whereas in economic profit, it is utilized to calculate a company's total production cost and company's total value, where a taxable profit is a number that is used to calculate tax on income for a number of reasons. Taxable profit may differ from reported earnings, may be higher or lower. Company financial reports often distinguishes between profit before tax and tax before profit. Now the kind of differences, temporary differences and permanent differences. Under temporary differences, it constitutes deferred tax liabilities as and assets. These there are two categories involved in temporary differences. Temporary differences. Taxable temporary differences results in taxable amounts when an asset is recovered or a liability is settled. Here, the results in deferred tax liabilities, which are liable for a company to pay more tax in near future. Some of the examples in taxable temporary differences are receivables resulting from sales and prepaid expenses. The second category is deductible temporary differences. Here, this results in deductible amounts when an asset is recovered or a liability is settled. Hence, results in deferred tax asset, which means company are only eligible for pay less tax in near future. Some of the examples of deductible temporary differences are accrued expenses and unearned revenue. Permanent difference do not cause deferred tax liabilities or assets. These occur if a revenue or expense item is recognized as tax reporting but not in financial reporting, and vice versa. One of the examples is in US, amortization of goodwill in some cases are included in financial reporting but not reported as tax returns. Similarly, certain dividends are not fully taxed, and tax or statutory depletion may exceed cost-based depletion reported in financial statement. These differences are permanent because they will not be reversible or revoked in future periods. No deferred tax consequences are recognized for permanent differences. However, they result in a difference between the effective tax rate and the statutory tax rate that should be considered in the analysis of effective tax rates. Now, now I'm going to talk about deferred tax assets and liabilities. Deferred tax asset means the business will have more expense on the tax return in future years compared to the accounting records. More expense not only reduces taxable income but also future tax liability. In case of deferred tax liability, it means the taxable income will be higher in future years than the income reported in the accounting records. Depreciation expenses can generate deferred tax liabilities. Some of the entries of deferred tax asset and liabilities in financial records will be when the profit is higher than the taxable profit, it is meant they should be eligible to pay less tax in the current period, where in future they have to pay more, which will create a deferred tax liability. At the same time, when the profit is less than the taxable profit, they have to pay more in the current period and less in the future period, where creates deferred tax assets. Now, It's time to look at the current tax assets. In case of current tax asset, what is meant by current tax asset? The current tax assets or liability will be measured as the amount expected to be recovered or paid to the tax authorities at the tax rate and the laws that have been enacted or subsequently enacted at the end of accounting period. In case of Amcor Corporation, there was no current assets recorded in the company statement. In view of accounting, expenditure occurred or revealed in that particular period itself. Here in this chart, it shows the deferred tax asset that valuated in the year 2019 and 2018. Now I'm going to talk about some of the theories behind income tax and cash flow statement. First of all, the income tax. Income tax is defined as a tax that the government imposes on the income of an individual or profit generated by a business or an entity within their jurisdiction. By law, taxpayers must file an income tax return annually to determine how much they are obligable regards to tax. Income tax are a source of revenue for governments. They are used to fund for public services, pay government obligation, and provide goods for citizens. At the same time, cash flow statement. Cash flow statement, it is the overflow of money in and out of a company. There are three different categories under cash flow statement consist of operating, investing and financing. Operation section only shows the cash flow from company's core business operations, where the investing section contains a company's expense related to purchasing new equipment or building as well as buying securities or other types of investment that involves cash leaving the company account. The other last one is the financing section, which shows the change in company's debt, loan or dividends. To say, when a company receives a cash as a result from issuing debt, this adds to the cash coming in. Later, when the company makes payments to debt holders, cash is reduced. Overall, the cash flow of a company can tell whether the company is cash flow positive or negative. Here, Amco Corporation had paid income tax in the year 2019, 2018 and 2017. In the recent past year, they have paid around $172 million as income tax. At the same time, the cash flow statement varied from $160.2 million to $148 million in the respective years. Now I'm going to give a brief note on income tax expense and tax paid. In case of income tax expense, it is the expense that is paid by an individual or a corporation or an entity to say a government authority. It is complex as there are different types of revenue subject to different levels of tax rate. Income tax expense is typically shown right after the total of income before tax and just before net income or loss. It means that the accrual method of accounting requires you to show expenses in the period the expenses incurred rather than the period that the expenses paid. On the other hand, income tax paid, it is of paying tax as per you earn rather than paying it in lump sum. This is one of the method that is used nowadays in daily life. To conclude, Amco Corporation follows monetary and tax guidelines. On top, there is no unpaid tax by the corporation. Following up of tax guidelines, paying tax in time, and motivating the managers with proper guidance of and recording of transaction and accounting act as a beneficial factor for the firm. It is the obligation of every entity or an individual to pay the tax in correct time. Otherwise, it is considered as a punishable offense. By this, I'm concluding my presentation. Hope everyone like it. Thank you.